Alright, what's up, yins guys? I'm gonna do another video. This subject matter is some more stuff that I've seen on the TV news. Me and a girlfriend watching the local television news. And there was a kid on there that decided that he was being harassed in school, and he decided to use his camera phone to record it. You know, there's different ways you can sneak and use your camera phone. And he made the news because they tried to get him in trouble because he used the cell phone to expose the bullshit. So these kids were pissed off because they couldn't get away with their shit, and they decided to get him in trouble recording people without their permission. But even though the news didn't say so, I imagine when all the kids that were picking on him and harassing him, the ones that were pissed off that he recorded them and exposed all their bullshit, they were probably making faces at him behind his back and using their cell phones and snapping pictures of him, you know. The news didn't say so, but imagine the kid in question was probably figuring that too. I don't know how much of that is figured, but you know, right when somebody's back's turned, everybody with their phones in schools, I mean, yeah, there's a double standard there, and like the people that gather the mob can set the rules, and if you don't let them get away with their shit, they'll turn around and get you in trouble for something. They can do it, but you can't, you know, because they gather the mob. I mean, this is getting to be the arrogance of social authority and social pull, and the ones who has the more friends that can gather the most mob makes the rules, and they can do whatever they please to somebody whom they think is different or undesirable some kind of way, and everybody can just have fun at their expense. Hey, if they don't like the way somebody looks, or if it's not a crime to snub somebody, or if you don't want them in your group, that you don't like the way they look or you don't want to talk to them, that's not a crime. But these kids, what the hell is the point? I mean, if they want to do their own shit among each other, you know, and hang with each other and associate and have their crowds, and whatever the hell is their activity they do, and they should be too busy with that in their own social lives to even give a shit about. I don't give a shit if the kid looks like the Elephant Man or whatever. They'd be too busy. What? They don't have anything better to do? I mean, I think that's how people get popular to start with. Us, they can't get popular anyone else. They can't be popular any other kind of way that they actually need some kind of scapegoat or sacrificial lamb that they can start making stories about and start harassing, like as a sport to impress their friends. Like they can't they can't get they don't have any other way to get friends, any other kind of talent or any other kind of thing to talk about. I mean, for Christ's sake. And they're trying to get this kid in trouble yet, but then they were probably taking pictures of him the whole damn time. And it's like, who the hell do some of these people think they are? And these are the kind of people that, yeah, they're allowed to do that with you, but then you do the same thing to expose their shit. They don't like it. Or if you want to verbally get them, if you want to verbally try to hold them accountable or argue with them or raise your voice back when they try to intimidate you verbally, you automatically, because they have the mob in the crowd, you're a raving lunatic. But they can verbally get vicious and push you around. How's that work? Or if you get physically pushed inside, to push back and knock them on their ass, and you decided to get a step more ruthless than they are, oh, you're all of a sudden the psychopath because they can't get away with their shit. And other words, if you're the person that they try to gather a mob against in their pack mentality, you fight. Even though you're not Bruce Lee, if you knock one or two on their ass and stand up for yourself and stand up against their pack mentality, and all of a sudden the person that's not intimidated by a pack mentality becomes this psychopath and everything else, you know. That's what all the rules are. And then outside of school, when you go to college, or even when you go in some places like jobs, it's like that too. I mean, no matter what you actually try to do, they're gonna as soon as you stand up to the other person, whether verbally or physically, they got a thing to say that either you're a raving lunatic, or if you stand right back up to somebody, like the person can physically push you, but then if you physically push them more ruthlessly, a step more ruthlessly, and knock them on their ass. Yeah. You ever notice how the psychopath is always the one that actually is labeled the psychopath, is always the one that tries his shit and then gets knocked on his own ass when it gets done back to him. And then the person who they don't expect to ever win is always the psychopath, you know what I mean? And then all through history and everyone else's people's witch hunts and their pack mentality. I remember in one of Ronnie James Dio's songs, he says the dead man's always the liar, you know. So in all of this case, the different person is always the liar, and the one who gathers the mob is never the liar. You know what I mean? They want people to just lay down and take it. And if you don't lay down and take it, you become a psychopath. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. And I want to say too, somebody wants to go around out of nowhere and record me with a cell phone, more power to them. I don't give a shit. But if I decide to conceal a cell phone, a camera phone, and record somebody, if I think I'm being harassed, especially if I have good reason to believe that I need to protect my ass some kind of damn way and protect my rights, don't get mad at me either. But I think anybody who just gets mad if somebody records them too is going to it's going to just make people do it more. But I actually was in a library once where I don't know what was going on, but there was this one black guy, a couple people, and then another black guy over here, and they had a couple people with them, and there was a big argument in the library because the one guy accused of the other guy of taking pictures of him. You know, he saw the camera, and it was a big argument about it, and the librarian was actually trying to settle it or whatever too. And they were all there was something going on, but I don't know why people do that, but there are people even on the streets that do that shit. They don't like somebody in town, and with cell phones, people like to do that shit and be harassing people, or they don't like somebody, the busybodies doing this and that. But then, I don't care if it's in schools, colleges, or workplaces or whatever. There's going to be these other people who are doing shit with their cell phones, doing shit like gathering a mob and taking pictures and emailing each other's phones, sending each other pictures and all kind of crap on their phones to harass somebody else and laugh at them. But then when you hear all the insults and all kind of things, and then you go and record them and prove that it's harassment and everything else too. You're not allowed to do that. They can get you in trouble. Is that how it works? So if you're being harassed, you're supposed to just lay down and take it. I doubt it. Anyway, what I say is, outside of YouTube, you just go ahead and try that with me. I don't really give a shit. I says if I feel I need to, I believe in the right to actually record something especially if it's harassment, that if you got mob mentality going on, that like say you're into some job and it's going to lead to you getting fired or something, because there's a lot of workplaces too that do pull bullshit, and harass people and then do all kind of crap to try to get people fired and everything else, you know, and they do deliberately do shit to try to get people bumped off for different reasons. So I think people have a right to actually. Anyway, I think that's the way this world is. I mean, if a particular label is assigned to you, and if you're considered some kind of lesser person or a lesser life form, and people think that they have a right to pull different shit or get away with shit with you, and make sure you don't overcome that label, and whatever position in life they decide to assign to you, that if you resist in any kind of a way, or they expect you to just shut up, just sit there and take it and just shut up. I mean, they're out of their damn fucking minds. I mean, but that's what a part of this society actually thinks, with its arrogance, and even people in authority that stick up for just who they like better, or whoever the hell. Like it says, the one that one of the golden rules is whoever has the most friends and who can gather the mob makes the rules. Then, plus those are also the ones that have the gold that make the rules. And how you get the gold is you get friends. You don't always do it because you're good at what you do. You go to college and get somewhere and you gain something politically. You gather. It's all about gathering friends or meeting the people in the right places and attacking somebody else and putting them down. So they're to make somebody else lower than you. That's the name of the game. And then when you try to fight against, and they're the ones that want to make the laws so that you can't fight against it. And they want to try to intimidate people so that you can't fight against it. They want to make everything, any kind of method that you use to fight against it, they want to make that against the law. But then they want to be able to do it. But when you do it, they call it unlawful this or that, recording of people. And then they even want to be able to physically put their hands on you, and whether it's physically or verbally, and you can't defend yourself, and they want to make that against the law, or consider it anything way you try to verbally defend yourself, it's some kind of violent innuendo. But then, or if you want to physically push back, you're the psychopath or whatever. These are the games that people play, and these people should be smartly rebuked. That's all there is to it. Well, the whole reasoning behind these people with their arrogance is, this kid was just some different kid. How dare he try to record something in defense of himself? And it's his own fault that nobody likes him. He should just sit down and take it. How dare he try to record and expose the bullshit and defend himself? Oh, God forbid if he ever decided to verbally defend himself or smartly rebuke the person, or be able to raise his voice louder, or be able to speak more intelligent and raise his voice back, or if somebody physically touched him, if he was able to knock him on their ass, I guess he'd be a psychopath too. Anyway, it's like when Henry Rollins was talking about the bull and the bullfighters, and how they would ride around on horseback and stab the bull a bunch of times with swords to weaken him, bleed him out and weaken him. And then everybody in the crowd boos when the bull actually marred the hell out of a bullfighter. How dare the bull get revenge? So they turn around and get somebody else to kill the bull and then drag him around the stadium. How dare the bull get revenge? You know what I mean? That's the way this world is. So go figure. Anyway, that's it.